Huge breaking entertainment news this morning. Jimmy Kimmel's late-night talk show has been pulled by the American Broadcasting Network over his comments about the suspect in Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Hello, I'm Linton Besser. Welcome to Media Watch. And first tonight, we turn to the land of the free and home of the brave, where both freedom and bravery are in rapid retreat as media titans bow to the new America.
Jimmy Kimmel exits from a back door of the Hollywood theatre.
Jimmy, we love you. Stay strong, man.
ABC America axing the show indefinitely after comments from Kimmel during Monday night's program.
His crime? Making light of the murder of Charlie Kirk, the caustic right-wing polemicist who in death has been proclaimed a martyr by the cause.
On a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, and it's going to be a beauty.
Jimmy Kimmel not only embarrassed the president, but waded clumsily into the affiliations and motivations of the man accused of shooting one of Trump's most vocal supporters.
The MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
And in the fraught political atmosphere now engulfing every aspect of American life, Kimmel became an obvious target, including for the head of the FCC, America's broadcasting regulator, whose political leanings and taste in jewellery are both very subtle.
And this is a very, very, serious issue right now. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or, there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
Sure enough, just a few hours later, the influential TV group Nexstar announced it would cut Jimmy Kimmel Live from its ABC affiliate schedules immediately before ABC cancelled the show altogether, which Trump celebrated on his own social media platform as great news for America, before hinting there may be others in line for similar treatment.
When you have a network and you have evening shows and all they do is hit Trump, that's all they do. Maybe their license should be taken away. It will be up to Brendan Carr. So we'll have to see.
Trump issued this not-so-veiled threat, having already promised that his government's retribution for Kirk's death would extend far beyond the man who pulled the trigger.
My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it.
This crackdown on those accused of promoting political violence, who just happened to be critics of the regime, had Trump's deputy chief of staff pledging before God, no less, their annihilation.
With God as my witness, we are going to use every resource we have at the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, and throughout this government to identify, disrupt, dismantle, and destroy these networks.
And the Vice President appealing to the public for help.
So when you see someone celebrating Charlie's murder, call them out. And hell, call their employer.
Cue the MAGA minions, some of whom systematised the witch hunt by gathering into a public data set the speech crimes of those whose language was not to their liking.
We're now at well over 50,000 confirmed identities and nearing 60,000. Keep pushing.
Another victory! Security guard fired over insensitive Charlie Kirk post.
Social media crusades for vengeance exacted on those who have given offence by those who have taken offence have become a wretched and entrenched feature of the public conversation, and it must be said, have been visited upon plenty of undeserving figures on all sides. But this is a new and troubling escalation. A baying mob granted the imprimatur of the White House, whose targets include prominent and less prominent Americans alike.
Among those to have been fired, suspended or censured for their opinions include teachers, firefighters, journalists, politicians, a Secret Service employee, a junior strategist at NASDAQ, and a worker for a prominent NFL team.
The cancellation of Jimmy Kimmel's show was preceded by other cases of media companies buckling before the tantrums of a vengeful president. Not least CBS's parent company Paramount, which claimed financial reasons were behind its decision to ice America's #1 late-night show hosted by Stephen Colbert. Its announcement swiftly followed by federal government approval of a multi-billion-dollar merger for which the company had been hotly lusting. So, could there be a pattern here?
Follow the money. In August, Nexstar, the largest owner of TV stations, local TV stations in the country, announced that they wanted to purchase their rival Tegna for more than $6 billion.
And on whose authority will the merger be waved through? Oh yeah, that guy with the brooch. But bullying American networks gets boring after a while, so, understandably, the mercurial businessman and politician looked about for others to taunt and turned his gaze on poor old Auntie.
That is appropriate, President Trump, that a president in office should be engaged in so much business activity.
Well, I'm really not. My kids are running the business. I'm here.
You
know what the activity, where are you from?
I'm from the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, Four Corners program.
The Australians, you're hurting Australia, right? In my opinion, you are hurting Australia very much right now. They want to get along with me. You know, your leader is coming over to see me very soon. I'm going to tell him about you. You set a very bad tone.
The White House later released a statement pouring scorn on the ABC's America's editor as a fake news loser. But John Lyons is anything but.
It was just a perfectly sort of normal thing to do, to ask questions that I don't think are provocative. I think are fair, are based on research. If our job as journalists is to hold truth to power, then surely asking legitimate questions politely to the President of the United States should be acceptable. But in this day and age in America now, it's not.
It's no longer acceptable because Trump has so fundamentally altered the political discourse, but also because behind Lyons' questions was a probe of some $2 billion poured into a company owned by Trump's family and that of one of his advisors by the UAE's Sovereign Wealth Fund. Lo and behold, 2 weeks later, the White House agreed to export to Abu Dhabi America's most advanced computer chips. A happy coincidence reported by the New York Times.
The confluence of the two agreements is itself extraordinary.
It was the very day this story appeared that America's benign monarch announced his latest action against the New York Times over unrelated reporting from last year. A $15 billion defamation claim deemed so meritless it was, at least for now, like his two previous attempts to sue the Times, thrown out of court.
A legal complaint is not a public forum for vituperation and invective, not a protected platform to rage against an adversary.
The case comes hard on the heels of another libel action Trump lodged against the Wall Street Journal after it reported a warm and convivial birthday message Trump had written to Jeffrey Epstein inside the outline of a naked woman, which the president said didn't exist.
The president called it a fake news article in the useless rag that is the Wall Street Journal.
But a photo of which the Journal later exhumed and published, alongside another of Epstein holding aloft a novelty check bearing Trump's name and captioned with a note suggesting the man, later convicted of sex crimes, had sold him a fully depreciated woman for $22,500.
Is this going to make Trump's defamation case against News Corp more difficult?
I think this was a long shot to begin with, and I think the appearance of this letter has made it even longer of a shot.
News Corp subsidiary Dow Jones, which publishes the Wall Street Journal, has pledged to defend Trump's litigation, while the chief executive of the New York Times warned the paper would not be cowed by what she described as Trump's anti-press playbook, and which celebrated American newspaper editor Marty Baron said has little to do with the truth.
I don't even think he really cares whether he wins these lawsuits. He just wants to harass the New York Times, and he wants to harass and threaten other major media outlets.
Recognised scholars of autocratic regimes told us Trump's hostility towards the press follows a familiar pattern.
Everything he has done is consistent with the interpretation that he is fully engaged in the creation of an authoritarian state.
With the regime's answer to Kirk's assassination an echo of the Red Scare of the 1950s.
The Republican response has been something akin to McCarthyism, using the assassination as an excuse to shut down legitimate criticism of the administration.
Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi has announced she will pursue so-called hate speech. But does the leader of the free world agree?
Pam Bondi saying she's going to go after hate speech. Is that, I mean, a lot of your allies say hate speech is free speech.
She'll probably go after people like you because you treat me so unfairly.
Undeterred, ABC America's chief Washington correspondent tried again a few days later and was again savaged by a president revelling in his successful lawfare against the press.
I just want to settle this free speech question because you've said that you restored free speech in America.
Yeah.
Is that free speech including for people who are harshly critical of you, for your political opponents?
There's never been a person that's had more unfair publicity than me. And frankly, you're a terrible reporter. You know it, and so do I.
He may be ordering the military not into theatres of war, but American communities. He may be deploying masked agents to round up the undocumented, and he may be using the power of his office to strong-arm corporations and bully the free press. Oh, and along the way, he may be trousering a bit of coin. But is it still too early to describe Trump as a despot? Give it time. We're only 9 months in. And now to the glorious Fraser Coast, where for the past few months, Channel 7 has brought us to within reach of the giants of the deep.
From July to November, Hervey Bay welcomes thousands of humpback whales and the visitors who follow them. It's one of the longest, most reliable whale watching season anywhere in the southern hemisphere.
These majestic creatures might just want to draw breath during a 5,000-kilometre quest for warmer waters, but their annual repose in Hervey Bay has spawned an industry, which, it should be said, is so terrific. It's being paid a weekly tribute by one terrific reporter.
It's hard to believe that just 2 decades ago, these gentle giants were nearly wiped out by commercial whaling.
Yes, Channel 7's passionate tourism expert, Karen Broadhurst, who for months has been bringing the sights and sounds of the Fraser Coast into Channel 7 viewers' lounge rooms.
Hervey Bay continues to earn its title as Australia's whale-watching capital and a must-see destination for anyone who loves the ocean. Karen Broadhurst, 7 News. Karen Broadhurst, 7 News. Karen Broadhurst, 7 News.
She's also been very diligent to preemptively defend Hervey Bay's whale-watching industry from any potential criticism, writing up packages like this for 7's 6 p.m. bulletin.
Whale watching in Hervey Bay isn't just a tourism drawcard, it's a carefully managed and ethically run industry. And as Karen Broadhurst reports, it's an industry that thrives on respect.
Behind every close encounter with a humpback whale, there is a dedicated group of accredited operators committed to conservation, education and unforgettable experiences.
Committed, dedicated, thriving on respect and ethically run. An outstanding report card, you might think, but for one small wrinkle. Karen is not, in fact, employed by 7, but is the
Marketing Manager, Fraser Coast Tourism and Events.
Fraser Coast Tourism and Events being
the region's peak body for regional marketing, event and tourism development.
That's right. 7's Bloodhound doesn't just conduct inquiries into the local tourism scene, she lets it cut her a paycheck. And with Karen dutifully reporting on the area's
responsible tourism model, which has made Hervey Bay a world leader in whale watching.
She's also dutifully sharing around the Channel 7 renown with paid-up gold and silver members of the Fraser Coast Tourism and Events Association, like Vicky from Tasman Venture, Mark from Kagari Salty Safaris, and Ben from Whale Song Cruises, who are among those who just happen to pay her wages. Priceless. So how have Karen Broadhurst and Channel 7 disclosed this stunning conflict of interest? Answer, they haven't. We asked Karen why it was acceptable she was play acting as a television reporter, and this was her very enlightening answer.
The segment aims to promote a key aspect of our tourism offering, being whale migration, to our regional community and visitors.
Oh, well, in that case. As for 7, its spokesperson assured us the handing over of its branded microphone to a professional peddler of puffery and promotion was all about compelling local journalism.
The whale migration is a good local news story and of interest to our viewers and the community, particularly the local business owners who are reliant on a successful whale watching season.
What Seven neglected to mention was the sheer inspiration this wonderful innovation provides, not just for the ranks of those loyal Seven reporters who have worked their rings off to get where they are, but also those future Seven cadets who now see the true path to a career in television journalism is not through television journalism at all. And that's all from us tonight. Be sure to check us out on ABC iView as well as YouTube, Facebook and X. You can find full statements on our website. And don't forget to send us your tips. I'll see you next week.